Here we are. What a day. What a day. What a day of accuracy. Calling the top, the bottom, and the absolute top of the market right into the close. All the warning signs were there. Shorts were about to get ripped. It was all there yesterday. Some incredible order flow stuff here today. New people in the room absolutely murdered it today just based on the context laid out. We'll get into it. January 23rd, recap, order flow recap, ES, I mainly focus on the ES, but everything is relatable to the NQ. My baby is the ES, but our levels, the levels work on published levels for all of them. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys watching these recaps. Hopefully you're kind of learning something. You're like, oh man, this guy's doing something different. You can see how intensely I prep the day. I don't wait for chart patterns or anything. It's levels. Levels, order flow levels, and context shape the market. There's only a few levels that mattered every day. And if you understand how the market sets up around those levels, that's what makes the auction. There's always a bull case and a bear case. If you don't understand those levels, click the link in the description. Come and hang out with us. I'll teach you all the cool little tricks that you've never been shown. But if you don't, just give me a thumbs up the video, like and subscribe to the channel. I'll keep the videos going. Let's jump into it. I don't want to take this very long. I was out getting some carne asada, and I just got back here with my kids. So I'm stoked to do this because you're going to see some incredible stuff. Okay, last day. If you guys remember, yesterday I called 6132.75 top before the market opened yesterday. Ended up being pretty much the top there yesterday. And what this meant overall is we sold off into the close. But here's what most people won't understand. What does 6113.25 mean? I can tell you what it meant to me, and I was correct. 6113.25 to me means, again, I laid that level out before yesterday's open, ended up being pretty much low a day. But what it meant today after yesterday's close was that if 6113.25 held today, it opened up the door for a push to 6154. 6154. What was the high into the close? 6154. I can't get any more accurate with that. Every day, hopefully, if you're watching these recaps, I really appreciate you watching. But if you're watching these recaps, you can see that I'm calling the top and the bottom and the bottom and the top of the market every single day, almost every single time, 8, 10, 12 hours before the market even opens. It's because you got to understand the context of the market. That's what I'm telling you. You don't got to, if you're coming into the market and you're not prepared like I am, and I'm a firm believer in prep. You got to get prepped. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, then you got to learn, right? You got to dig deep and you got to get after it and you got to fucking learn, right? You got to start putting in the work. But time after time, every single day, I'm correct, right? And this just goes to my ability to prep and how to see the market. So I'm not like tooting my own horn, but I'm really good. But it comes with a lot of work. And I encourage you guys to work, right? If you want to come learn and come with me, with my little crew, links in the description. But trust me, you're going to work. You're going to have to work. I'll give you all the tools, but you're going to have to work. Do not come to my team if you're going to half-ass it. Because if you half-ass it, you're going to get half-ass results. Just telling you there. Okay, that was our plan coming into the morning, and this was sent after balance. Okay, this is set right at the close of balance. I said dog shit balance session as expected. Yes, the order flow has sucked the last couple of days, but it's been very, very obvious if you zoom out and you look at the order flow on a daily perspective. It is very obvious, what they were trying to do, what they were doing that led to today. Market on waiting on Trump at 11. Absolutely. So we had like 12 points of range to 11 points of range. Not even. Actually, probably like close to like 7 points of range on the balance session. It was dog shit. And we knew it before the bell rang. But like, nothing's going to happen until after 11. Waiting on Trump at 11. Some key takeaways. Market sell is heavy at our 18.25 level. This is 61.18. Okay. If you did you notice something about today? The IB high yesterday and the overnight highs and from yesterday and overnight highs today were pretty much at the exact same place, and the open print was pretty much at the same place. That's by design. Okay, and this is why if you're paying attention to this stuff, 6113.25 is a very important level, right? And this is what I honed on yesterday before the market opened. It's a fucking important level, man. Right? Overall in the week's auctions, very important level, and you didn't know about it until it actually traded yesterday and did its thing. And then today, maybe you were a little bit more aware of it, but it's like I always ask people, what does this level mean to you? I know what it means to me. It means we can go to 54. And where do we go today? 54. Let's get back to it. Sorry. Heavy at our 18.25 level, we went over before the bell and bidding hard against our 13.25. No change. Okay. Inside yesterday's range. Okay, cool. Inside day, right? When we're trading inside yesterday's range, it's usually like pretty dog shit price action. We got to figure it out. Same plan as yesterday. 13 holds. Bulls want the daily close above where? 32.75. What happened at noon? I'll talk about it. All you needed to do was at noon and 2 p.m. what the order flow did. There was some really incredible stuff that we were all over that was confirming everything we needed to know that this thing was going to get sent to 54. It was very obvious. It's very obvious. It's how they set it up, right? Order flow has a pattern. I'm not talking about candlestick patterns. I'm not talking about just like how they print. There's a pattern to it. Okay, you got to analyze the order flow. 13 holds. Bulls want the daily close about 32.75 to open up 54 to tomorrow at 2 p.m. Well, at noon, and then again at 2 p.m. it showed me they were going to go for it today, and I'll talk about that. This is overall the path of 13 holds. Perfect. Looks below can happen. You just don't want to see acceptance. Absolutely. Right? We can look below 13. We just don't want to accept. Accept, and I mean a 30-minute auction. Bears needed under 13.25, rotate under 6093, but again, our 6103 level that we laid out last night ended up being the Globex low. So I laid, what's up, buddy? 5. Yeah. Just go sit down and watch it. Sorry, I'm just hanging out with my kids. So I laid out 6103 as a possible low level of the overnight session last night, and it ended up being the low of the session, right? And it got bid off there, and they rammed it back above 13, and that's why I was just like, I don't think this thing's coming down. Now, everybody bought. You bears threw everything you had at 32 today. You fought and you kept adding and you kept adding and you kept adding. But there was some really cool stuff that I was all over on the tape, and I saw like, oh man, you guys are just about to get ran. So let's get into the charts here. I don't want to talk about me, but I just want to show you guys the power prep and the power of order flow. I only care about a couple levels. I don't care about chart patterns. I don't need patterns when I know the levels. 13.25. If we close intraday over 32.75, we're going to go to 54. That's it. Sorry, you're going to have to deal with him. He's chilling. Okay, that's it, man. That's all you had to know. There's 3 levels of context today. And it did everything perfectly. Everything perfectly. So let's get into it. This is so beautiful, man. So we open, and we can already see right away, if you heard me on the live stream this morning, I said there's no inventory, there's no selling at 11. So as soon as we looked into 11, I called the low of day. The second it traded and pulled up, I said, there's nothing there. Go back and listen to today's live stream on YouTube. You'll hear me call it right at 9:30. We come down again. They barely able to get the close. The next session, we rip faces off, rip everybody who's short, and then it was on. I tried to get a fill here at 18. It wouldn't fill me. I wanted to buy 18 because I wasn't sure here. I don't take trades during the balance session. And then as soon as we opened this session, we just took off. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll get this thing above 32 today if it sets up, right? And I'm going to take this shit up to 54. And so there was some really cool stuff that happened here. So no fill here. And then we finally get into, I got to draw this level up here because it's really, really important to see what's going on here. It's literally right there. Okay. So this is 32.75. This is the level that I laid out on Sunday, and then we had we really reiterated it yesterday before it traded, before it was high day, right? This was my top call for yesterday, and it ended up working. So what happened? So check this out. We almost trade the level. We look above the level and we sell. But what I kept telling the guys is that I had another level down here on the order flow from yesterday. And what I kept telling them is I think the bulls are okay, even though we're trading under 32.75. I said, if the same order flow shows up today as it was doing yesterday, and what is that order flow? Like, then I think we're going to get our move. So I wasn't looking to fade this like yesterday. I was waiting for the close to get over, and then I was looking to buy it. I wasn't interested in selling this because I knew what was going to happen today. So I told the team, as long as we're bidding between 23 and 28 in the afternoon, to give this time. I said, this may take 2 or 3 hours to set up. But as long as we don't leave here, lose this, and we can bid, and I know we're below the level, so everyone's looking to short, right? Some of the other guys are in the room are looking to short it because of the context. But I said, give this some time here today. So when we pull back off the first rejection, we find the bid right at 23, right? Or a bit above 25. And this was the bitch of a bid that they were putting in yesterday that rotated, did exactly this in the afternoon, closer to 2 p.m. So it's the same order flow. You just got to remember how they trade it. So I was used to this. I was ready for this pullback here today, and for them to send it back up. So once we got this, I was like, okay. I went long on this very next session, got my 5 points, and we knew that the offer was coming back into 38. What's happening? Okay, just give me a couple minutes. I will. Just give me a couple minutes. So I took this long here, sold it into 38 when we saw the offer come back in. I said, this thing's probably going to come back. So it comes back in, and this was the 2 p.m. 4-hour open. This was like a thing of beauty, man. So what they did here is they pushed it up. Why I went long here is when we pushed it up, the bid made their move. And I kept telling the guys during this session, I was typing it in the room. If you're in our room, you got all the messages. I said, look, the bulls are setting this up. Because when they push like this and they move the bid up, now we can see they're getting positioned to make their move up. It's exactly what I want to see. And I've seen this hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of times. Same with the offer, right? When one side of the auction is getting ready to make their move, they're going to push it in their direction or drop it in their direction, and they're going to move that supporting offer or supporting bid down or up in the auction, long or short. Okay. So when they do this, I'm like, oh boy, get ready, fellas. Don't fade this. I kept saying, don't fade this. Get ready for the long. This is going to set up. And then once we got this here, we didn't close a single auction below 32.75. Look how rock solid my level was all afternoon. And right here, this is the start of the 4-hour session. When we came down here, I said, look, just see if this bid can hold on. They threw everything they had here at 30. They dumped 15,000 contracts into the bid. And when we absorb this with no inventory being able to get past this, and we start pulling up and we close this session, I told everybody, fucking long it. This thing's going to rip in the last 15 minutes. This thing's going to fucking go for it. And this is just what they do. So when they lift the offer into the close, you guys might be wondering, like, why does it do that? You have to understand what they're doing. So everybody is shorting here, shorting. They're trying to hang on here at 38, multi-session shorts. Like, I'm talking, there's big fucking volume up here, like negative 300,000 deltas. Like, I'm talking big inventory short, or inventory sold from the long. However you want to look at it, it's selling inventory. Multi-day, right? Going on 2 cash sessions. So it builds, right? But what they do when the bulls are getting ready to say to the bears, they start bidding that former resistance area, and they bid it for like 2 or 3 hours. And this is exactly what they do. They do the same thing every time. The last 15 minutes, the last 15 minutes. It's not before. It's always the last 15 minutes. Usually in the last 10, they lift the offer, which means they fucking drill the stops. So they clear out all the stops. We have this play literally hard coded. We've seen it hundreds of times. I know exactly how they set it up. We knew this thing was going. And where did it go? Right to 54 target I had laid out. The level is 15.75. I said 54, but the level's right here. We get to the level, and then they sell into the volume there. Absolutely perfect day. Laid out before the bell even rang. The only levels you needed to know about of context, no chart patterns, no crap, is you needed to understand acceptance at 13, 32.75, and where the path leads you to the upside. And I specifically said, as you could see, a hold of 13.25 opens up a push to 52. And that's exactly what they got. I knew they were going to do this today. The order flow was reeking of it ever since they did this move right here at 12:30. This is the setup candle. This is how they set it up. It may look like nothing, but I was adamant with the team all day long. I said, you guys, they're setting this up. They're setting this up. They're setting this up. You're going to have patience, because it's not going to, the move isn't really going to come until like the last 30 minutes, usually the last 15 minutes, where they're going to drill this in. And then you can see, once we got the auction above, they never gave up the level. And when they did this, when we looked below and it didn't look very good, and they were selling, like this guy at 31, if you go back and watch the tape, we were talking about it in the room. I'm like, this guy's fucking relentless. Every time we'd pop up, a point and a half, sell, and come back, sell, come down, sell, come down. It was relentless. And then the last, I think, man, the last 3 minutes of this session, he got absorbed, and they put the close back over the level. That was it, man. I was like, oh my goodness. If you weren't sure then, once you saw the order flow there, for us, that is like mass conviction. It's going. It's just, you have to sit in this and wait for them to do their thing. So, 72 is next. I said that they were going to set this up for a Friday all-time high touch, right? Yesterday. This is what we went over in our meeting yesterday in Zoom. This is what we talked about before the market opened this morning for the bull case, that they're probably going to set this up for a 72 push for Friday. In order to get that set up, this is exactly what they needed to do. Get the daily close over 32.75 and get the push up to 54, and all gets set up. So what's up, ladies? Coming through the door. I'll be with you in 1 sec. So that's it for me. I'm going to wrap it up here. I got to get my watch list out here to my team, trade plan for tomorrow night, but incredible day of order flow. Come join us. If you're in the dark on this stuff, man, I just come and hang out, man. I'm with my team all day long. I trade with them all day long. We have a great time in the room. We're incredibly accurate, as you can see, and we just let price come to us, man. It's all about trading the levels and letting market context kind of take over and let the trade plan unfold. So thank you very much for watching. I'll peace you guys later. We're going to close out this week strong, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the free live stream on YouTube for the balance session. Incredible day. Incredible. See you guys in the morning. Let's get my ugly mug off your screens. I'm out of here.